Alright. It's finally time to come back to more SpongeBob. And thanks to you guys, I have finally hit 100 subscribers. So to celebrate this, I'm gonna kind of do what Jim did, kind of sort of, you know, with talking about SpongeBob related stuff for my subscribers. Now, he had 500 subscribers for his special. Mine is just for 100, so I'm not nearly as much as he did when he made his special. You guys should really check out Jim Reviews. I know he's retired from YouTube, like making YouTube videos, but I think it'd still be nice to go back and watch his videos and stuff. They're actually pretty good. Especially his SpongeBob, videos. You guys should really check those out. But yeah, I'm gonna be doing this for a SpongeBob video for celebration of me hitting 100 subscribers. Yippee! And I'll do another short video too. I'll do another short video and stuff, and I'll do another short video too. So, but anywho, let's get into the video. This video is gonna be about how should have SpongeBob ended, or it says when should SpongeBob have ended. A lot of people actually have, a lot of people are kind of split on that, actually. A lot of people, have said that it should have ended after the movie, and then it should have ended after season 4, and then, I don't know, I think some people are like, SpongeBob shouldn't have ended at all, because it's gotten better. Now, I'm gonna say it has gotten better since the Dark Age of SpongeBob, which was, season 6 through, 9A, which is actually where a lot of people's top 10s, were at and stuff. And some of those episodes and those seasons were really bad, but around 9B, things have gotten a bit better. I don't think SpongeBob is as good as it was in the first 5 seasons, or I should say the pre-movie era, but let's talk about it. When should a SpongeBob ended? We're gonna pretend that season 9B does not exist and onward. We're just gonna pretend it doesn't exist. So we're gonna throw that out the window, and we're gonna focus on mainly seasons 1 through 9A. And when should a SpongeBob ended? When should it have it ended? That's the good question. When should have SpongeBob ended? And that's what this video is gonna be about. But before I go any further, please subscribe for more videos and content. Hit that notification bell. And if you guys are interested in SpongeBob and all that, check out my SpongeBob, videos and stuff, if you haven't already. Which, by the way, those have done really, really well. That's another reason why I'm doing another SpongeBob video, because those have gotten tons of views. And I figured, why not do, more SpongeBob? I was gonna make a tier list and all that too, but that's gonna have to come down the road. But anywho, let's talk about SpongeBob. As you guys know, seasons 1 through 3 were really good. They were actually really good. They had some great episodes, like jellyfishing, help wanted, reef blower, Tea in the Tree Dome, and then season 2, had like Band Geeks. Band Geeks, had that Band Geeks, that was in season 2. There was Imitation Crab, Squid's Day Off. I think Artists Unknown was in season 2 as well. And then season 3 had some good episodes too, like Chocolate with Nuts. Chocolate with Nuts, and then I don't remember all the episodes from season 2 and 3 because they're so similar, but you get my picture. They had a lot of good episodes in all 3 seasons. Oh yeah, I think Can You Spare a Dime was also in season 3 too, so that episode was really good though. But they did have some of their flaws. They had Krabby Land, which was not a very good episode. They had Dumped, which is a mediocre and frustrating episode to sit through, and then they had like Grandma's Kiss and all that. But overall, they had some pretty good episodes, some top tiers. Now this is where the video is going to come in place here. We're going to talk about the movie and stuff. Now, I'm not going to be reviewing the movie. I'm not going to go into too much detail. I'd rather save that for a review down the road. But I'm going to talk a little bit about the movie and see, if the movie was good for the finale. Because Steven Hilberg wanted the SpongeBob movie to be the last project he worked on with SpongeBob. But Nickelodeon and then fans of Nickelodeon wanted SpongeBob to continue on. Because let's face it, 3 seasons of a show seems really small. I mean, look at Danny Phantom. Danny Phantom only had 3 seasons, and more people want that show to return. So yeah, 3 seasons with 60 episodes is really small. I think there was actually a little bit more than that because there were some shorts too. There was like one short, Reef Blower and stuff from season 1. But I've been hearing that fans have been demanding Nickelodeon to bring back SpongeBob because it was a well-received show, so they brought it back with more episodes. I mean, to be fair, I'm guilty in that pleasure. I wanted SpongeBob to come back too. I remember that when I was younger, I wanted SpongeBob to come back. I was upset that it left and all of that, and it finally came back and stuff. But the real question is the movie a good finale for the for the show? Was it a good finale? Well, I'm gonna say no, it was not a good finale. Don't get me wrong, I really liked the movie. I thought it was really good. But I don't think it was a good finale, if you get what I'm saying here. Sure, the story was really good and stuff, and I really liked the story of the movie, and I think their quest to go to get King Neptune's crown was pretty great. Seeing, Dennis going after them, that was pretty good. The problem is with the movie, though, is it didn't have all the main characters in it. It didn't have all the main characters. It did have Patrick and SpongeBob and Plankton, a lot of them. But it felt like the movie was more focused on SpongeBob and Patrick than anything. And I feel like too, a good finale too would have been like Mrs. Puff finally giving SpongeBob his license. That would have been a good finale too. But no, the movie was just, I guess they just wanted to set it off for a big bang, I guess, or something like that. But yeah, I feel like, yes, Patrick and SpongeBob were the only really big characters in the movie. Sure, Squidward was in there too, and Mr. Krabs, but Mr. Krabs barely had any speaking roles. He kind of was just there. I mean, he was there at the beginning of the movie, but then he got frozen by King Neptune, and then he got frozen by King Neptune, and then, Squidward was in there too. He was, but after, the first chunk of the movie, he was completely gone from the movie. until they revealed that he was a slave, in the movie. So yeah, I just don't feel like it would have been a good finale because I don't feel like we get the questions answered we were wanting to answer. I know Steven Hilbert had his rules and stuff. I know that, but if this was supposed to be the finale, I kind of wish it. No, don't get me wrong. I'm fine with the movie being the way it is. I don't think they should change it, but I feel like this is supposed to be the finale of SpongeBob, but we didn't get a lot of questions answered and all that. We didn't get a lot of questions answered, like SpongeBob never really got his license. Mrs. Puff was not even really in the movie except for like one line. Actually, I think she had 2 lines, but she was also, I believe she was also in the Chum Bucket too, but she was kind of just in the background. So was Sandy. Sandy was also barely in the movie too. She was only had a couple lines too, so I don't feel like they had the entire, gang in there. And like I said, we didn't really get our questions answered. So usually a finale, gets questions answered or something. But I usually get questions answered and stuff, and I don't feel like we got some questions answered. Like, we don't ever figure out what happens to Pearl's mom, or what happens, to like, well, if SpongeBob gets his license. We never figured that out. Well, actually, we do that because in the movie, he says he doesn't have his license, but he doesn't need a license to drive a sandwich, so I don't know. Don't get me wrong, the movie is pretty good, but I don't think it was a great finale, honestly, for the show. Plus, they made Plankton a bad guy. They made him a bad guy. They made Plankton the bad guy and made him turn everyone to slaves, and at the end, he gets arrested. Personally, I know a lot of people say that they made him too evil, and I think they did, but I think it works with the plot. But I feel like for the finale, I don't feel like him getting arrested at the end was a good move. Right, because, he had a lot of great moments in the pre-movie era. I mean, he had Plankton's army. He had, there was an episode, where, like an imitation crabs, he was in there, and then, like, Funny was in there, and then, like, Walking Small. Those were all great episodes. There was even the first episode he appeared in called Plankton. So there was a lot of episodes in there, and yeah, they joked about him ruining the world and stuff, but I feel like they were trying to hint at him that he was, had a good heart. So I feel like, him getting arrested at the end was a terrible finale for the show. Because, he's one of the main characters, and then he gets arrested at the end. And I feel like it just hurts the movie, it hurts the finale a bit. Plus, like I said, the other characters are barely in there either, so Plankton's actually got more roles, I think, than Mr. Krabs does in the movie. I think they gave him more lines than Mr. Krabs. I could be wrong, but I don't know. But yeah, I don't think, the SpongeBob movie would have been a good finale. I know Steven Hilbert, and I know I miss him. I think he was a good guy. But I feel like him making, SpongeBob the movie, the finale, was not a good move. That may be why, too, a lot of people wanted SpongeBob back, too, because they were like, this is how it ends. It's gonna end where Plankton gets arrested, and we barely get to have any lines of Sandy in it. I think that's why a lot of people wanted SpongeBob to return, because they wanted to see more of their characters, because in the movie, they probably got to see any of it. And I know Plankton will go on to, he'll go on and to try to kill them in Atlantis, Scorpantis and stuff, but But I feel like, getting him arrested at the end of the movie kind of destroys his character of what they were building him up to be. I know they didn't focus on it too long, but I think making him a complete villain of the movie just felt kind of pointless. I mean, they could have probably found someone else to make him a villain instead. I mean, they did that with the second SpongeBob movie. They made another villain. But I don't know. I don't know, but yeah, I think the SpongeBob movie was not a great finale, and I think I'm gonna move on. I think I've had everything else to say about it that I have. I'm sure a lot of people probably agree here. I mean, yeah, it was supposed to be Steven Hilberg's finale, and he wanted the show to end. I get that, but like I said, it's just, I don't feel like it was a good finale for the show, because, like I said, didn't get questions answered, like Pearl's mom and stuff, we didn't get that answered. SpongeBob doesn't get his license, and Plankton, gets a villain, and all the main characters were pushed aside to focus on SpongeBob and Patrick. Like I said, it doesn't feel like a good finale. So now I want to move on to season 4 now. This is when Steven Hilberg left the show, and a lot of the writers left too. They went to work on a couple episodes of season 4, but then they left. But let's talk about that, actually. Season 4 is kind of where a lot of people think the show has gone downhill, and some people still include it in the Golden Day era. Where do I stand on it? Well, I think it's still pretty good, actually. Yeah, I think the comedy may be a little bit off, because I know in the original show they focused on comedy a lot, but I don't think SpongeBob needs comedy in every episode. I mean, even in the pre-movie era, there were some episodes that didn't have comedy in them as much. So, for example, like Pretty Patty. Pretty Patty was not a funny episode, in my opinion. I think it gave me a chuckle at the end when Mr. Krabs, is running away from the angry mob, and there's a rainbow going behind, the people that were colored by the Pretty Patties. But otherwise, it's not really a funny episode, but it's still a good episode. It's still good in story-wise. And like I said, Dumped was not a very funny episode either, but that one failed because it was boring, and there was not many characters to bounce off of, so it was boring, and yeah, it was boring, so yeah. But then there was episodes that I think are also not super funny, like for example, I think there's, what's that episode? Oh yeah, I Was a Teenage Gary. That episode's not really funny. It ain't funny, but it's still good, except the ending. If you guys want to see my thoughts on that episode, you can check out my reviews on my playlist. That's where this video is going on. It's on that playlist. But yeah, season 4 though, had a lot of episodes that were actually pretty funny though. Now I have not reviewed, season 4 or 5. I haven't reviewed any seasons, so I can't really say how good they are compared to the movie era. But I'm looking how good they were and how many episodes they released that were actually good. For example, season 4 had, good episodes and some that were funny, like Wishing You Well. That one was funny. Dungeons and Dragons, that was funny too. And then they also had a funny episode called Krusty Towers. Now that one was technically supposed to be in the pre-movie era, but let's face it, if there was no season 4, we wouldn't have Krusty Towers. That's the thing. If there was no season 4, there would be no Krusty Towers. So there's a lot of episodes that are really funny, and I can't think of all of them on top of my head, But there's some other good ones too that are not funny, but are good, like Plankton versus Crabs. Plankton versus Crabs is an example. Fear of a Krabby Patty was actually pretty funny too, though. It was actually pretty funny, but then there was I see. Have you seen the snail, which was another episode that was not funny, but it was still good because it focused on it still focused on the story and stuff really well. See, I look at SpongeBob episodes more for story and comedy both than just one or the other. That's the problem with the newer seasons, is they focus on stories but not really comedy. And I know that people are like, well, season 4 and 5 are, at the point where it got bad because their comedy and stuff is off. But I don't know, I don't really get it. Like, I mean, I was asking people too why they think season 4 and 5 are bad. But I'm like, they still seem the same. But I don't know. I'll get into that later. But you can see that season 4 had a lot of great episodes. It really did. And although they're not all funny like the pre-movie era, I did point out some episodes that were not really funny in the pre-movie era, but I still enjoyed them. But yeah, but I still really enjoyed them. So yeah, I mean, but yeah, there's still a lot of episodes that are good. I mean, there's some bad ones too, like just like the pre-movie era, some bad episodes, like All That Glitters. All That Glitters is a bad episode, and so is like, well, a lot of people say Good Neighbors is, but I don't think it's really that bad. Now season 4 and 5, I can't really say some episodes are bad or good because I haven't seen them in a long time, but I have seen Good Neighbors, and although it's a bad episode, I still think it's not terrible. But I still think that the show ending after the movie was not good. But I think season 4 was a pretty good season too. Like I said, it had a lot of good episodes. It had, like I said, it had a lot of really good episodes, like Dungeons and Dragons, Crabs versus Plankton, Wishing You Well, Mrs. Puff, You're Fired. All those were really good episodes. And I know there were others too I mentioned, but there's too many that I can't mention all of them. But then we got season 5. Now I'm gonna move on from season 4 because I think season 4 is so far where the show would have been best if it would have ended if we didn't have seasons 9B to now. But let's focus on season 5. Now this is where everyone, I don't think I found one person. I found a couple people actually that said season 5 is still really good. Like Mr. Enter said that, and I think someone else did when they put like season 5 and stuff on a tier list. But otherwise, I think a lot of people are saying season 5 is where the show started going downhill. Now, what do I think about season 5 though? I don't think it's really that bad, honestly, in my opinion. Season 5, though, is where the seasons started taking more risk and stuff. They took more risk. While Season 4 was trying to, mimic the pre-movie era, Season 5 took more risk. And I think they did a pretty awesome job, too, with it. I think they did. Yeah, there were some bad episodes, like some shorts were really bad, like, oh, what's its name was kind of a stupid episode and pointless, and then, and then there was fleeing in the tree dome. That was I think it's called Fleeing her dome. I think that's what it's called. But that episode was. That one was what was bad. And then there was another one that I reviewed called, a better episode I reviewed that was called, it was called, Waiting. That one was really bad, too. Now, a lot of people say season 5 is more, it's meh. They don't really, a lot of people don't say it's bad, but a lot of people say it's like meh, and it's where the show started going downhill. Well, those episodes were bad, and a lot of them that people say are bad and list, like for example, Pie Guy. When Pie Guy was ranking all the when he was reviewing every episode of that season, he had 15 on his list, and 5 of those were shorts. 5 of them were shorts, which are really short. And yeah, a couple of them were really, a couple of them were like really long, like episodes like there was, whatever happened to SpongeBob, Pest of the West, and then like the Scorpantus. But I mean, even with those episodes, there were still quite a bit of them that were pretty good though too. So yeah, there's a lot of shorts in this season that are kind of mediocre or bad, but that's the thing, they're shorts. They're not very long episodes. But they're really short. That's the thing. So trying to compare them to like the pre-movie era is kind of hard because of the shorts. Now, I don't know if they're as good as the pre-movie era, but... Well, the season alone is as good as the pre-movie era, but I can't really say that because I have not graded all the entire season. I'll be doing that way in the future, though, so... I guess you guys can wait to see that, but I'm here to talk about, whether if it's, where the show should have ended or not. Let's talk about some good episodes, too, from this season. I've done that with the pre-movie era, and I've done that with Season 4. So, Season 5. Some good episodes. Whether it's Friend or Foe. That one's also not really funny, but that one doesn't need to be funny. That one just focused on Plankton and Mr. Krabs' backstory. And then we had Jim. Jim is, it's original Fry Cook episode. That one's good. Krabs Alamo, Spy Buddies, Goo Goo Gas, Two Faces and Squidward, which that episode, a lot of people don't like the beginning and the ending of it, but a lot of people still enjoy the episode. And I do too. So those are all good episodes, and personally, I think Pest of the West is actually a pretty good episode too, but that's my opinion. I'm trying to think of episodes a lot of people like that other people don't like. Well, there's also Mermaid Man versus SpongeBob too. That one's also pretty good too. A lot of people really like that one. But that one's pretty good though. So a lot of people actually really like all these episodes, and this is where my point comes in place here. If we didn't have seasons 4 and 5, we wouldn't have all these episodes. In a way, I think season 5 is probably a better finale. Now, what about season 6? Well, that season's pretty bad, honestly. It starts off pretty good with some good episodes like Squid, House Fancy, and I don't remember all the episodes, but there's a lot of them there. It's not very good, honestly, and that's where a lot of the Squidward torture episodes happen too. So, there's Choir Boys, which is a very, very bad episode, and then you got Squid's Visit. You got Shell of a Man. I think no, that's not Shell of a Man. It's season 4. There's an episode in season 6 too where Gary loses his shell and all that, and it's just freaking boring and bad. And there's also an episode in season 6 where like there's an episode in season 6 too where like they have a storm and stuff, and they do absolutely nothing throughout the episode. And then there's also Slide Whistle Studios. And then there's like Stooges, and then there's Giant Squidward, which are all really bad episodes and torture Squidward. So personally, I think season 5 is definitely where the show would have been better ending. I know a lot of people say season 4 or the movie would have been better. And a lot of people say that season 5 is where the show started kind of going downhill, but I think season 5 still had some pretty good episodes. I forgot to mention one too called Roller Cowards. I knew I was forgetting something. Roller Cowards is one of the best episodes of SpongeBob I've ever seen. It's really good. It's really funny, really good. I really like it. So there's a lot of decent episodes in season 5, some pretty good ones. There's also some bad, like I mentioned, like Waiting, and I don't know if Fungus Among Us is bad or not, but I know Feeding the Tree Dome is bad, because I've seen that one. That one's bad. And there are some forgettable ones too, like what's its name and stuff, But otherwise, I think season 5 would have been the perfect finale for the show. Now, I don't know if other people would agree or not, but I think a lot of people say season 5 is where the show started going downhill. But I feel like the show still had some really good episodes, and some of them were really funny and stuff. But after that, I feel like midway in season 6, that's where the show started going downhill. It's where it started going downhill and not being funny anymore, and the gross out humor started beginning, and then the dark age of SpongeBob began. So, yeah, I think season 5 would have been a perfect finale for the show. Yeah, we wouldn't have some episodes from season 6, but a lot of those are not like really, really good either. So they're not like Roller Cowards or Spy Buddies or Dungeons and Dragons or Krusty Towers or even like the pre-movie era, like Imitation Crabs and all that. So I don't know. I think if the show didn't have seasons 9B and onward, I would say season 5 would have been a perfect finale. I think it would have been a perfect finale. We would have wrapped up the show, and we would have 100 episodes, and out of those 100, a good chunk of them are actually really good. But I don't know, tell me what you guys think about this too. Do you guys think season 5 is a good finale, or do you guys think SpongeBob had a better finale in the pre-movie era with the movie and stuff? Personally, I think the movie is really good. Trust me, it's really good, but I don't think it's a good finale for this show because again, we don't get a lot of the questions answered, in the 4th and 5th season either, but at least with those seasons we get, more episodes. And again, we wouldn't have a lot of those episodes, including Krusty Towers, even though that episode was originally going to be for the pre-movie era. I'm not sure why it got canceled, but it did, and then it released in season 4. But yeah, I think though it would have been we wouldn't have all those episodes and stuff. So it's pretty good that at least it went on to season 5. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, hit that thumbs up button. And again, like I said, tell me what you guys think about the video. And tell me what you guys think. Do you think season 5 is a good finale for the show? If so, leave a comment down below on my videos. And see you guys next time. And check out my SpongeBob playlist if you have it. And my other playlist too. My Illumination and Blue Sky ones. Anywho, see you guys later. This is Dash Show Rose out. And thank you for the 100 subs.